Well, funnily enough, if you had asked me that 3 years ago, or when I wrote these books a decade ago, I would have said absolutely nothing to do with today's world and today's society. What astounds me is I finished these books before my twins were 4 years old. In the first COVID lockdown, they were 11. Well, they were about to turn 11. They were 10 in the March, and they turned 11 in the July. So during that time, just before they turned 11, I introduced them to the books that I had written when they were so young. And I realise now that I was gifted with writing this series when I was a stay-at-home mom, before they were 4 and went to school, and then I went back to IT work, working full-time in an IT environment, which is long hours, 60, 70 hours a week. And so I was gifted with being able to write these 5 books at a time in my life when I had that space to do so. But they were absolutely meant for this pandemic, this COVID pandemic and lockdown. They are nothing about COVID. It's not based on COVID at all. When I finished the books, COVID wasn't even on the agenda. And Pisces is a totally different virus. But it was the whole series was written for this day and age. It was written for this society. The pandemic and the details have really helped my children and their friends and other kids, I believe, to cope with this pandemic better. We have survived so much in our history that this is not even that bad compared to some of the things that have happened in the past. And we fall down, we brush ourselves off, we stand up, we carry on. It's what we do. It's how we work. All the fears going on now about pandemics and invasions and war and nuclear, that's no different to when I was a little girl. And that just went on and on and on and on. I remember my grandmother saying, "Oh, we're all going to die." And do you know what? She died thinking we were all going to die, but nothing actually changed or happened. And so I won't get upset or sad about anything that's going on, because it's the same as any other time in my life, the same threats, the same worries. Not going to stop thinking about happy things in my life and focus on these bad things. So I think it helps us cope with today's pandemic and makes us realise that it's not that bad. When my children were 11 and read this book, they turned around and said, well, at least COVID isn't Pisces. Absolutely.